Hello, good morning. It is Entrepreneur Day. So happy Entrepreneur Day. Exciting. I didn't actually know it was Entrepreneur Day until this morning. Love when those kinds of things pop up on social media. Today we are going to be diving in. Hello, welcome. Today, we're going to be diving in and talking about the data-driven method and your business. So I'm just going to pour a fizz. Always got to start with a fizz. So we're going to be diving into the data-driven method, and we're going to be learning what is the data-driven method, why do I keep talking about data in your business, what is this all about? So the data-driven method is part of it is an ebook. It will be an actual book on Amazon in the next couple of months. But right now it is an ebook and it is available currently for a free download. So if you want to jump on over to datadrivenmethod.io, you can grab the free download at any time. If you want to be jumping into the Facebook community, that is where I'll be answering questions after the lives. This is a 3-day workshop. We'll jump into what that's all about in just a moment. But the Facebook community is the Service-Based Business Society. So you can head on over to Facebook, type into the search bar the Service-Based Business Society, and it will pop right up. Of course, right now, I will not be approving any new members while I'm on the live. So if you are catching this somewhere else, we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, a couple other places. So we go live in multiple places with Restream. And if you want more information about that for yourself in your business, you know I love automation, being super efficient. And we're going to talk about visibility in your business in just a moment here. So, if you want to be more visible in your business and want to be live in more places at one time, then Restream is the tool for you. It helps us be multiple places at the same time. If you are trying to go live on multiple places and not using a tool like Restream, then of course you have to go live multiple times, and that's just less efficient. So here we are. And if you are catching this live, be sure to jump into the comments, say hello and where you're from, and also which platform you're catching this on. Super nice to know where we are getting some visibility. And then, like I said, if you want to jump into the Facebook community after this live, wherever you're catching it, then that's a great place to ask questions. All right, so we're going to jump right in. I have this in the calendar for about 30 minutes. And, we have this set as a 3-day workshop. So why did we go for 3 days? Well, because everyone has lots going on in their businesses, and it can be really tough to carve out like a full day or any large amount of time. So these are recorded. You will be able to catch them later. And so we've broken it up over 3 days, 30 minutes per session. And by the end of the workshop, you will have gone through and are able to calculate the entire data metric for your business. So, today we're going to talk about what is the data-driven method? Why is entrepreneurship conflicted? This is a big one. Why data is important, the 4 key areas for analysis, and then we're going to go through some examples of these different items and how they could relate to your business. This metric is not just for service-based businesses. This metric can work for any business because it truly isn't about what data should be. It is about what data is in your specific business, how it relates to you, your business, and we're going to get into it really takes more than just one data point in your business. It is tracking data and learning what is the story it's telling about your business. All right, day 2 and day 3. So this is actually Thursday, Friday. We are not meeting tomorrow. So it gives everyone a little time to catch up, get into the Facebook community, ask some questions if you need. So day 2 and day 3 is where we're really going to be diving into all 36 points of the data metric and going through how to calculate them, tracking them over time, what they can mean in your business. If you have questions about your specific data, I'm happy to answer them at that time. And then we're going to go over some action plans. Looking at data doesn't actually create change in your business. It is formulating solution-based actions from the data that you're learning about. All right, so we're going to start off with data in your business. So when we're looking at business as high-level problem solving, if we think back to even when, you were doing almost like riddles like math in, high school, there's this element of problem solving. Business truly is about managing risk, managing resources, and solving high-level problems all day long. So the data-driven method provides a framework for turning these, analysis data pieces into insights and then into solutions. There are hundreds of thousands of different data points in a business, and so it truly is about looking at the right data points. Obviously, as an entrepreneur, you don't have someone on your team, most likely at this time, that is tracking data all the time, telling you what it means, analyzing it, providing those solutions on an ongoing basis. So we need to learn how to be efficient. And by looking at the right data at the right times, that's how we can do that. Okay, why does data matter? So, data is not just about using the numbers. When we think about data, we often think about, complicated Excel sheets, graphs, charts, all these different things. And ultimately, while that is data, we also need to be using data in more simple ways, making sure that the decisions that we're making are positive for the business. We want to be making decisions based on data, not just gut. And while I am typically very analytical, I think that intuition plays a huge part in business, but it needs to be backed up with data. It's not only intuition and it's not only data, it is a combination of the two. So tracking the correct metrics and then using those in conjunction with your intuition provides the best result. It also allows for more confident management. When you have an idea, whether you want to get something started or, you have decided that you want to start a different direction, offering all these types of things, you want to have the data that tells you that this is also the right direction to go. You can proceed with more confidence. You can waste less time in that analysis paralysis if you have data to back up your thoughts and your guiding. It's also a great learning opportunity because, if you've been in entrepreneurship for any length of time, you know that not everything goes according to plan. And so, using data and tracking it over time is a great learning opportunity to say, hey, this didn't work very well. But why didn't it work very well? What could I have done differently? A lot of times it's about small changes making big impact, not always, major course corrections. Sometimes it's just a minor adjustment that can make a big impact. So using data to know what's working and what's not really does allow us to make those minor adjustments and see through to the success, to the end result much faster. All right, who am I? Why do I love data so much? My name is Tiffany-Ann. I have been in the service-based industry for over a decade now and have gone all the way from startup to 8 figures per month in revenue. And let me tell you, there is a lot of evolution, change, and data that is a part of that journey. So I have seen all sides of business from, idea, concept, all the way up until scaling large teams, big systems, and lots of different data points, calculating, and truly using that to make major money-making decisions. So what else do I do? I am the Service-Based Business Society podcast host. And if you haven't checked out our podcast yet, I really recommend it. We have a fantastic episode coming out tomorrow with Bree Sedano as the guest. can't wait to share that one with you. So if you have not, we are everywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, all of the good places. I am also a mom of 3. I have 3 kids under the age of 10. So I am kept busy. And so, like I started talking about efficiency and how important that is, I understand juggling entrepreneurship, life, and everything else. So, my solutions will always be in the vein of efficiency, automation, and the such. I am also an agency owner. So we support business owners, service-based business owners in scaling their success. We offer ongoing mentorship programs. We offer done-for-you services, and we also have some full-service clients. And those are, our team is very much involved in their business and working through daily challenges. All right. So, talking about that journey from startup to 8 figures, we went through many valleys of death. And if you have not heard the expression valley of death, it is a business term. It is not all just for shock and awe. It truly is the times right before your business is going to grow. And the challenge of these times in business is, in order to be ready for that push in growth, in order to be ready for that big, scale of success, you have to be completely ready in terms of infrastructure, team, money. And that's really where it comes. When your business is growing quite quickly and you're needing to be investing into team, training, infrastructure, all of these types of things, you typically have, that shortage of capital. You don't necessarily have the revenue of being $1 million business yet, but you have all of the needs and requirements of being $1 million business. So, whether that is, we often see that valley of death. Just getting that business off the ground is the first one, where you've invested in the infrastructure, you've invested in the systems, you have the website, you've got the, if you're carrying product, that's a big one, investing in inventory, training team members, all of these types of things. And then you get going and get that revenue coming in. And so then you're, going along, and then you're going to do that next really big push. And we really start to see that around the $100,000 mark, where suddenly, your requirements, now you've kind of worked out of that small business, and now you're really doing that push. So, 100,000, 500,000 is another very typical valley of death. Then we start to see it around $1 million, 5 million, and 10 million. So lots going on there. And that's not to say that your specific business can't have other challenges during that time, but the business that is most likely to have cash flow issues is actually ones that are in high growth. So, don't be feeling like you have, these challenges that other businesses aren't seeing. A lot of times people don't share the information that, hey, my business is struggling with this. People love to talk about their success. They don't always love to talk about challenges. I'm just going to close this window. There we go. So, we have all of these different challenges, but what you're seeing on social media, what you're seeing people share about, when you go to a networking event, when you do all of these things, people love to talk about what's going well. No one really wants to talk about these different struggles in their business. And it's not until you get into a more formal mentorship relationship, or you have a mentor that you confide in and say, hey, like, my business is going through these challenges. What's going on? Why is this happening? Why am I running out of cash? Why do I have this other challenge with, these metrics? And so it's really digging in and tracking over time that allows us to work through some of these valleys of death, and also to see them coming, know that we require some change. So here is, a more visual representation. So the valley of death truly is that time just before we start to see this. If this is our, revenue line, we're seeing just before we're going to, go through that big growth piece. It's that time where you're ready. Your business is ready for that next step, but you don't necessarily have the revenue coming in quite yet. Okay. If we think about a very typical corporate business structure, we have a whole team of people making decisions. So if you think about, even very stereotypically, we're going to have a big meeting and we're going to get together, the representative from marketing, from sales, finance, operation, all of these different pieces. If you are the CEO of your business, often you feel like the lead janitor or the, lead fireman. Basically, you have all of these people that are getting together and they're helping make decisions in a business. But what is unique between this and entrepreneurship, where this conflict really happens, is if you go back to the original corporate structure, you have someone from operations who is who is adding to the conversation from an operations perspective. And they might have a discussion with someone in sales and say, hey, sales might say, hey, I want to run this promotion. And operations might say, you know what, that's really a challenge on fulfillment, or I see this problem. And so you have these people, but they're each representing a key piece of the business, all very important, and everyone brings something to the table. But when you get into entrepreneurship, you are that. You are all of those people in one. As your team starts to grow and you're adding in people, now you have different people representing different parts of your business. But this conflicted piece of entrepreneurship often happens because one part of your mind, maybe the sales part, is like, hey, let's do this. Now you have this other part of your mind that's like, hey, I don't know if that can work. And so now you have this inner conflict and deciding, should we do it? Should we not do it? Is this the right decision? Can we make money doing this? Maybe we can't. Is there too much risk? But it's all internal. And so you often feel this over analysis, this conflict. You're not sure which is the right direction. And it's so different than being able to just have multiple people work around. And so when an entrepreneur represents all these parts of the business, you have to have a guiding principle that allows you to make those decisions in a way that makes sense. And so, you want to be able to look at your data, review what the story is, what is it telling you, and be able to make those decisions. We have all at one time or another missed out on an opportunity because we spent too long thinking about it. It's like, should we go? Should we not go? Should we go? Should we not go? And then before you know it, well, it's over and you never decided. And so it's kind of like, well, I guess I made the decision by not making a decision. And so we want to be using data almost like a member of our team to help guide those directions, to help make decisions that make sense for all parts of the business. Okay, so when we're looking at the data-driven method, we break it down into 4 key areas, 9 data points per area for a total of 36 data points. So super simple. When we're looking at the 4 key areas, they are visibility, scalability, profitability, and sustainability. Sustainability is such a key word in today's day and age. But when we're talking sustainability, we're not just talking about environmental sustainability, which is important, very important, but we're also talking about the sustainability of the entrepreneur, of you. We're talking about the sustainability and the ability for those businesses to work with your life, with you. We're so often at the beginning of an entrepreneur's journey, we are diving in and we are working super, super hard, not always at a sustainable level. And that's okay. It's okay to dive in. It's okay to work super hard to get something off the ground, but we can't build a business that relies on us to do all of these things indefinitely forever. Okay. Visibility. Visibility looks at the awareness of your business within industry and area. So we're looking at things like web presence, social media presence, SEO, customer list, brand reputation, all of these types of things. If people don't know your business exists, they They cannot be your customers. If people don't know your business exists, you don't have a business. Visibility is super, super key. So when I started this workshop, we were talking about using Restream to be visible in multiple places. A tool like Restream, or a social media scheduling tool, anything where you are doing the work of one job and getting the benefit of multiple can truly help your business. So we often look for ways to be more visible. So our visibility section of the data-driven method looks at different data metrics, 9 different data metrics that specifically look at visibility. Okay. Scalability. Can you grow your business? Doing something once, not a business. Doing something twice, still not a business. We need to be able to scale the business. If your business completely relies on you 100% of the time, it's going to be a challenge to scale depending on your objectives. So we want to be looking for these 9 different metrics that allow us to scale the business in a way that makes sense. More sales is almost guaranteed to be more stressful, but it's not always guaranteed to be more profitable. So, leaning into scaling your business in a way that is profitable, there will always be time periods that you go through that are, profit is not a guaranteed, always going to stay the same as you invest in new team members, training, infrastructure, all these types of things. It is expected. Those are management decisions. But what we're talking about here is specifically, gross profit, the money that you are making off of the actual jobs. So doing more jobs does not mean you have more profit, because doing more jobs, often if you don't have the infrastructure, things start going wrong. It starts to feel a little messy. We've all had those time periods in business over the years where, you're like, I just have to get through this, whether it's a season or a training portion or whatnot. But looking and tracking to make sure that the decisions that we're making, the things we're adding to the business, we're implementing, are adding profitable sales, super key. This is one of the main areas as businesses scale. We see they go from, we were a small business with a 20% profit margin, and now we're a big business with a 5% profit margin. And, what is the difference? Well, the CEO is running around absolutely stressed out, missing all their family time, crazy, and making less money. And so, we need to look at what needs to be changed in order for the big business to be as profitable as the small business. And oftentimes it's really in that valley of death time period where we need to make some changes, look at management decisions. But we can only do that if we have the data and metrics to know what's working and what's not. Okay, the third key area is profitability. We were just chatting about it. It is key to any and every business. Without profit, you cannot grow. You cannot invest back into your business. You cannot build infrastructure, train people, create culture. Profit is absolutely essential. So we track profitability, and not just net profit. This is a mistake we see repeatedly where, sure, net profit matters, but from a management perspective, net profit tells you very little about what is working and what is not working in your business. We need to be breaking that down into whether you have departments or areas. We need to be able to break it down into smaller sections to decide what is working and what is not. Net profit, sure, is important, but from a management, what is the data telling you perspective, it's really a vague data point. And the last one, sustainability. Without sustainability, leads to personal burnout, team burnout, and the worst, bank account burnout. So we need to be building sustainable businesses that have that ability to be long-term, that can grow with your life in the future. As a mom of 3, I really understand what it takes to juggle business, family, and everything else. And it is not for the faint of heart. And for no matter what your challenges are in life, whether it is, whether you have a family, whether you enjoy specific hobbies, all of these types of things, I absolutely love my business. I have been the person who works way too many hours for most of my life because I truly enjoy it. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs think people talk about work-life balance and they think, no, I love what I do. And that's not what it's about. I love what I do too. I love working all the hours. I love putting into my business. However, we still need to make sure that it is not leading to burnout or soured relationships. And bank account burnout is a big one for those that say, I don't really want that work-life balance. I love what I do. Forget about the rest. Team burnout is essential. Not everyone, it's your business, not everybody else's. And so not everyone is going to have that same feel. And we have to build sustainable businesses that work with life. All right. Data needs to create a story. A single data point tells us nothing because we actually need to know what are the trends, what is typical for the business. Tracking a data point just one time can tell us, hey, something is 10%. Okay, well, is it usually 10% or is it usually 20%? And this 10% means that there's something very wrong. Does it, we need to track over a set time period, typically every 30 days, to say, what is going on in the business? What changes did we make? What variables are there in this data point? So typically, I recommend at the end of each, financial period. So if you are prepping your financial statements, which you should be every month, then, the next step of that is, okay, your financial statements are prepared. That means you've gone through your whole month end process. You have all of your reporting. Now you want to track your metrics. This should really be part of your month end process so that you have all of your data and you're ready to make decisions for the future. So we collect the data, we analyze the data, and then we action. Super important, we don't start actioning based off of one data point. Oftentimes, if you have not been tracking data previously, now you are like, oh my goodness, this is a problem, I need to change it. And all of a sudden we start making all these changes, but we don't actually know what the story is yet. So you want to collect the data. 30 days later, we want to collect the data, and then we want to analyze and create an action plan. Okay, so visibility using Google Analytics is a great way. So one of our metrics is about online visibility and traffic origin. Where are our clients coming from? Super important. We want to know where those clients are coming from so that we can do more of what's working and also decide where we can invest to add in additional channels. Super important that we know what is working in our business. If you are investing hours and hours and hours of time into something that is not bringing in any traffic, any clients, perhaps this is not the best use of your time, or we need to change the strategy. If you say, I really want to keep doing it, but I want to be more effective, this is where we need to know what is working and what is not. So if you think about, planting seeds in your marketing, measuring visibility, measuring your traffic origins comes down to what is actually growing. We plant a lot of seeds in our, as an entrepreneur, but what actually grows fruit, we need to know. So this is really what we just talked about, visibility analysis, knowing where that traffic comes from. So this is just one of our visibility metrics, and we go through all of the visibility metrics Thursday. I'm like losing track of days. So yes, we go through, so day 1 is Tuesday, day 2 is Thursday, and day 3 is Friday. So we will go through all of the visibility metrics on Thursday. We've lost our slides. All right, we are going to jump ahead. we're going to go through some of these analysis tomorrow. So we have the download. I've just put up the QR code. So if you scan the QR code, it will take you right to the download page. If you have not grabbed your copy of the data-driven method, you want to head on over, download the copy. You can also jump into the Facebook community, and that is where you can ask questions throughout this 3-day workshop. So we have today, grab your copy of the book, you can jump into the Facebook community, and then we will be back at the same time on Thursday, and we're going to start going through the metrics. So we're going to be looking at the visibility and scalability areas on Thursday, and we're going to be looking at the profitability and sustainability areas on Friday. And so by the end of the workshop, you will know how to track every single one of the 36 points. And if you have any questions about, possible changes or what you need to do to track those in your business, I'm happy to answer those inside the Facebook community. And from there, we will talk about what it looks like moving forward. What are the action plans? What is the analysis that takes place? So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to jump in the Facebook community and connect there. And thank you so much for joining. And we will see you again Thursday morning at 9:30 Pacific and the same